GE is not as good as Pratt & Whitney in the high-end engine market, but it is ranked second in both military and civilian markets, and it has Safran, a joint venture with French Snecma, as its subsidiary. French Snecma seems to have great technology in both civilian and military markets. Could a human brain be placed somewhere outside of the body while still remaining alive? Or would be exceedingly difficult to extract the brain and keep it alive. People think that the brain is a separated thing. It isn't. It's an integrated part of the nervous system of a person. To separate the brain, you need to cut the brainstem somewhere, because the brainstem regulates vital functions like heart rate and breathing. You would want to leave that part with the body. It would be very difficult to separate the brain from the brainstem without destroying some vital part. How can you identify intelligent people? When you answer, they ask you more. When you start using big words, they ask for clarification. When they can't understand anything you're saying, they ask for you to explain it to them as if they were a 5-year-old. When you say something intriguing, they write it down in their notebook or phone. How do you value time as money? It's simple, just do the math.
How much do you want to make in a year?
$1 million seems a good amount, right? $1 million means $85,000 in a month, $3,000 a day, and around $400 every hour you work. Assuming you'll work 8 hours a day. Your 1 hour is now equal to a whooping $400 or $29,000. Treat your time like it's already $1 million so that one day it will actually be.
What do you know that most people don't? When you buy some goods from small shops, you're not helping a rich businessman increase his business to collaborate with another giant company and flood his company with profits. You're just helping a father get his daughter a new dress. His son, the RC car he always dreamt of. His wife, a new set of earrings, which she always wanted but never asked for. So shop local. What's the least healthy fact about hamburgers? The frequency of their consumption. More than half of the sandwiches sold worldwide are hamburgers. And yes, hamburgers are sandwiches. This mass consumption is largely due to the proliferation of fast food restaurants across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The food is ultra cheap and easy to sell. The good news is that not all hamburgers are made the same. It all depends on the sourcing and what you put on it.
What is your most powerful tip? Imagine yourself as the snail below, right on top of a razor-sharp blade. Should you go forward and risk being injured? Should you go backward and risk being hurt? Should you stay still and let your body weight push you down the blade? What exactly should you do? The most powerful tip I can give you is, ask the right questions when you have screwed up. In this case, why the hell were you trying to sit on the top of a blade? Most often, we already know the answers to why we have screwed up in life. We are just too overtaken by chaos and emotions to let ourselves accept the truth.
Is it good to eat banana in the morning? If you eat banana in the morning, it is very beneficial for you because banana is protein rich. One good source of energy. Banana contains neutral sugar glucose, which provides instant energy. If you eat banana in morning, your all day goes energetic and rest free, but it's only work when you eat banana every day. Help in digestion. They contain fiber, which improves your digestion and can help prevent constipation. 3. Easy, too early, and affordable. Bananas are very simple to eat, and it is usually cheap compared to other fruits. If you found this helpful, you can follow me for more simple tips. What is still a big secret in the human body? The pineal gland is one of the biggest secrets that are hidden from us. The secret is not the existence of the gland, but its functioning. The pineal gland, or epiphysis, is a chronobiotic agent. This means that it synchronizes our internal clock with the light-dark cycle. In the absence of light, this small brain organ of just 120 milligrams produces the hormone that takes us to the world of dreams, melatonin. In some animals, fish, reptiles, and amphibians, this gland is located under the skin and is able to receive light information directly. For this reason, it is also known as the third eye. However, in the human species, as in most vertebrates, this pineapple-shaped and pea-sized organ is located inside the skull. Therefore, more complex ways are needed to know whether it is day or night. Yakuza public baths. Japan, 1947. Worked by Horace Bristow. Bristow was in Japan after World War II. One of his projects was documenting Japanese tattoo art, which led him to capture some amazing scenes like the one in this image. The first thing that catches your attention is seeing men and women sharing public bathrooms. It is a Japanese tradition. It would not be until the intrusion of Western culture and values that separate bathrooms began to be seen. Tattoos are linked to Japanese culture. However, its prohibition by the authorities several centuries ago meant that its use was limited to criminal environments, such as the Yakuza, or Japanese mafia. The members of the Yakuza had their bathrooms because their tattoos gave them away as members. Can I cut skin cancer? Myself? Here's my skin cancer, a melanoma. If you think it looks like something you can remove at home, think again. My dermatologist explained to me that melanomas are like an iceberg. They spread widely beyond what's visible on the surface. hence the large area surgically removed. That's a 3 inches incision. Want to try this in your bathroom? Nah, didn't think so. What is the cruelest animal in the world, and why? An animal that cruelly kills its victims is undoubtedly the sea lamprey. In fact, this beautiful ectoparasite, which can reach between 1 and 20 centimeters in length, widespread along all European coasts and in North America, has a very particular way of killing its victims. Basically, it finds a fish, salmon, herring, but also some species of small sharks. It sticks to it with its teeth and begins to suck the blood with its tongue and drain it. What are some epic tattoos? Disturbing images ahead. Here are some of the epic, creative, weird, and creepy tattoos you have ever seen. Brilliantly tattooed realistic eyeing throat, which might not be very obvious in the front, but looks extremely realistic and creepy when the chin is actually lifted. Creative and funny tattoo, where the old man took his baldness to its next level. Just the upcoming tattoos are creepy as hell. Can an inmate start a business while in prison? Sure. You ever hear of a store box man? It's a simple concept. The store box man, or store man, buys items from commissary using the money on his books. Ramen, honey buns, keef, etc. He then loans those items to other inmates at an exorbitant interest rate. Say you borrow a soup from the store box man on a Tuesday. You're going to owe him 2 soups the Tuesday after next. Granted, none of this is technically legal, but it's the same strategy that predatory lenders use on the outside. If One Main Financial is considered a business, the store box man should be considered one as well. What is the dumbest feature in any product that you know of? In the 1950s, people were finally starting to realize the danger of smoking. Many people, doctors included, had been in denial for a long time, unwilling to kick their dirty habit. For a 1952 claim that smoking caused cancer, Kent Cigarettes came out with an asbestos filter to help protect smokers. For the uninformed, asbestos causes major health problems like cancer and lung scarring if you inhale it. It is heavily regulated and banned in many countries. Talk about solving one problem and creating an even bigger one. Can I eat fish with boiled eggs together? Yes, you can safely eat fish with boiled eggs together. Both are rich sources of high-quality protein, vitamins, and healthy fats, making them a nutritious combination for muscle building, weight gain, and overall health. Many cuisines around the world regularly combine seafood and eggs in meals without any problems. The main thing to watch for is freshness and proper cooking. If either the fish or eggs are spoiled or undercooked, they may cause digestive discomfort. People with seafood or egg allergies should also avoid the combination. Otherwise, pairing fish with boiled eggs can be a healthy and protein-packed meal choice. What are the strangest medical conditions most people have never heard of? I recently discovered this one. I initially thought he'd been burned somehow, but realized he has anonychia, a condition that causes people to not have nails on their toes or feet. It's extremely rare, and they don't even have data on how many people have it per 1 million. It's not a progressive condition. People are typically born without the nails. They still have all the other body parts, including the nail bed, the tissue that sits under your nails. But hey, he doesn't have to worry about clipping his nails. What happens if you eat too many bananas in one day? There's this misconception that fruits are always good for you. I got into this habit of buying pears because I love their taste and see them as healthy. Then, I noticed my stomach getting bigger. Why? Because they are still loaded with sugar. Good sugar. But sugar. Bananas can have a similar effect if you eat too many of them. They're considered a very rich food. They can also put stress on your kidneys because there is so much potassium in them, which can cause hyperkalemia and cause all sorts of nasty little symptoms. A little goes a long way. With fruit, just have 1 banana. Then call it a day. Small or large will do just fine. What are some interesting facts about crocodiles? One that would surprise people? They can climb trees sometimes. If the branch is set up and wide, they will climb a tree and lay on a branch where they know nothing will mess with them. They can wrap around the trunk with limbs, and will even bite branches to give them leverage to climb further. I still don't know how the hell they get down. I guess that's one more thing I have to worry about here in Florida. What is the greatest paradox of becoming healthy? One of them is related to Ozempic. To become skinny, you have to take a drug that makes you hate food. Many of the people taking it report that food no longer tastes good, or they feel nausea. And despite these side effects, they become far healthier overall, with many people getting off of 80% of their medications and losing tons of weight. It's ironic that food, the thing we desperately needed to survive for many years, has now become the very thing that kills us. Every problem has a solution. What is the solution for this? You take a deep breath and realize it's all in your head because tiger, lion, hum, not real. Wolf with 2 head, not real. Sharks in a river, not real. And when you start seeing clearly, then you can see the opportunities and solution to the actual situation. Always look at the bigger picture.
Which country can manufacture jet engines? 6 countries. The US, the UK, France, Russia, Ukraine, and China. The most successful manufacturer in the world is Rolls-Royce of the UK, and the manufacturer of the most high-end jet engine in the world for fighter jets is Pratt & Whitney of the US. GE is not as good as Pratt & Whitney in the high-end engine market, but it is ranked second in both military and civilian markets, and it has Safran, a joint venture with French Snecma, as its subsidiary. French Snecma seems to have great technology in both civilian and military markets. Could a human brain be placed somewhere outside of the body while still remaining alive? Or would be exceedingly difficult to extract the brain and keep it alive. People think that the brain is a separated thing. It isn't. It's an integrated part of the nervous system of a person. To separate the brain, you need to cut the brainstem somewhere, because the brainstem regulates vital functions like heart rate and breathing, so you would want to leave that part with the body. It would be very difficult to separate the brain from the brainstem without destroying some vital part. How can you identify intelligent people? When you answer, they ask you more. When you start using big words, they ask for clarification. When they can't understand